Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for watching. Today I have a full face of makeup for you. I'm doing my eyes first and I'm using the ColourPop Uh Huh Honey for a monochromatic look. You know, I love those. I have quite a few ColourPop products coming up in the near future that I did a bit of a haul on, and they're going to be monochrome looks, so I hope you're interested in those. So let's get into it. Okay, so I've already gone ahead and primed my eyes. I've used today my Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in Eden, which is really kind of a really light yellow colour. So I'm using that today instead of my normal P. Louise. So I'm going into the palette. I'm going to go into Stinger, which is that yellow on the top there, and a Dose of Colours blending brush. And load up my brush. And I just want to go into the transition area first up. Today I'm doing old school eyeshadow, so I'm going in the transition area first up instead of in the crease. So backwards and forwards, as high up as I need to go. I don't have much lid space. Into the outer corner there. And right down into the inner corner. Okay, so I've got that transition colour on. It's really quite nice and yellow. I've blown that out a fair bit right out to the end of my eyebrow here with that brush. Now I do have really uneven eyes. I don't know if you can really tell by looking at you now. If I really relax my eyes down, you can see this eye here is actually really a little bit more hooded than the other. So I have trouble when I go in and do my crease. I've actually got to really relax my eyes down and put my crease colour in above so you can actually see it. So if you've got that trouble, I'm with you. So I'm going in now with a Smith 235, which is a tapered brush, a little bit thinner. It comes to a point. And I'm going to go in with Totally Buggin, which is a little deeper yellow colour there on the tip. So I'm going to look down so I can see where I need to place this deeper colour so you can actually see it. So it's a little bit lower than that transition colour, but high enough to be seen when you're actually looking straight ahead. Now, hooded and uneven eyes creates such a challenge for a makeup artist or someone doing your own. If you're doing your own makeup. And you can see that little bit of a darker, deeper colour there. So I'm just going to go up just a tiny little bit higher. I've got this brush on that kind of an angle, so it's going in flat. I'm not going in wide. I'm going in quite flat there. And I'm going to come out to the outer corner. So I've come in a little bit from that outer edge where I've put the transition colour, so you can see the deeper colour there. And you can see when I do this eye, I'm looking down again, and I'm trying to create that roundish shape. And you can see I'm really going in on that hood area there. Now I've done my eyes, or I'm doing my eyes first up today because I am going to be using a little bit of the glitter that's in the palette. It's called Palooza. Now it's not recommended to put on your eyes. That's in an eye palette. You have to be very careful that you don't actually get it in your eyes, because it can cut you. Now this is where I do have to be careful and look and make sure that this is the same shape as the other. And especially when I go in with the crease colour first and it's quite a strong colour in there, it really is quite hard. So today I thought I'd just go back to the transition area first and then blend this in. It is a little bit easier but doesn't give you that real vibrancy of the other, using the other technique. This is all I'm after today, is a nice gradual. Okay, so that's kind of even there, pretty much. I'm going to go in with that first colour again and just add a little bit more around the edges there. As you know, when you blend, you do lose colour. So I'm just popping it on the edge of that colour there, the deeper colour. Now, I don't know if you can notice, but this side, this eye is actually wider. The area is wider than this one here. My eyebrow is shorter and it's longer on this side, so I'm definitely not symmetrical in my face shape, which makes it harder again to do your eyebrows and your eyeshadow. All the little difficulties that you can have are amazing. Okay, so those two colours are in. Might just go back in with Totally Buggin again and just put a little tiny bit more in, just back from that blend area. Okay, so I'm going to go in with Buzzkill, which is a darker colour, a brown colour there, on a MAC 239S. Small brush, good for picking up colour. I'm just going to go into the outer corner here. And then I'm just going to go in with a tinier brush. This is the Sigma E21, a little bit littler, and just into the inner corner there. So I'm going to use now a Smith Arrowhead brush, I'm pretty sure it's called. It's a 253, which has a little point on it like that, and go into Sweet Spot, which is a brighter yellow there. Just on the edge. Then I'm going to use my Makeup Forever 240, which is really good at picking up shimmer, and I'm going into Randy, which is a shimmer colour there. I'm just going to place that in between. I'm just going to bring that right up to the top of that crease there. I might go back in with that Smith brush and that yellow. Just put a little bit more of the yellow down the side there. Just decided to go back in with a little bit more of Totally Buggin on that 221 brush. And just blend that a little bit along that darker colour, which was Buzzkill. And I'm going to grab that Joseph Colours brush and go back into that first colour, which was Stinger, and go over everything. I'm going to grab my Too Faced glitter glue just on my finger, so I'll pop a little bit on my hand first up. I'm just going to take a finger and just right in the very centre pop some glitter glue. And then I'm just going to go back in with my finger and pick up Palooza, which is that glitter in the centre there. Just straight over the top of that glitter glue. Okay, so those eyes are done. I'm going to go in and prime my face with my Tarte Clean Slate Timeless Smoothing Primer for my pores. And I feel like I want to be a little bit more glowy today, so I'm going to use my MAC Strobe Cream. I don't have to worry about oil coming through today because I'm not really wearing this for very long at all. I'm not going out, so just to give me a little bit more of a glow. So I'm going to use my La Mer today, which I love. It's my favourite, on a Guerlain foundation brush. Smells divine, this foundation. It is my definite favourite. It's not matte, doesn't really sink into my fine lines and wrinkles. This colour is beige, which matches my neck pretty well. I'm not going to use my Becca Under Eye Brightening Corrector today. I'm just going to go straight in with my MAC Prep and Prime in Radiant Rose, so it's a light pink colour. So I'm just going to use my Morphe brush to blend that in, E20. It's about the only Morphe brush that I use. So just for a little bit less product today, I'm just not using my Becca. You know how much I love that though, if you've watched any of my previous videos. I like to just pat that in with the brush, saves moving the foundation around. Then I'll go back in with my foundation brush and just stipple over that area. I'm just going to go around my lips with my Pixie Crayon Combo in Wide Awake. This is an eye product. Lips and the corners of your nose there where it tends to get a little bit dark. Back in with that Morphe brush. I'm just going to do a tiny bit of contouring around my nose and mouth with my Too Faced bronzer, and this is a Too Faced contour brush. Right up into the eyebrow on a curve. And then I use the belly of the brush just to blend that down. Okay, so onto bronzer. I'm going to use my Sigma, it's a powder brush actually, large powder F30. Now this is a ColourPop Bronzer in Paradise Cove, Super Shock Cheek. It's got a little bit of a satin finish to it. I'm going in with Sigma's Pet Name Aura Powder, which is beautiful, really light pink, on a Real Techniques blush brush. Now remember, if you go overboard, just go back in with your foundation brush and just tap around the edges. And then for highlighter, I'm going in with the Becca powder highlighter, and this is Rose Quartz, which is a beautiful pink, and an Anastasia A23 highlighter brush. Give me a little bit of pinkness. just touched my nose. I always go in with my Sigma Duo Fiber F50 large brush, and I do always kind of blend upwards because I just don't like to see any demarcation lines between the bronzer and the blush and the highlighter. Okay, so I'm going to do the bottom lash line now. So I'm going to go in with that darker colour, which was Buzzkill, on a small brush. So I'll go back to, if I can find it, the Sigma E21 and just connect that corner up there. And I'm going to go into Stinger with the 221 brush. So Stinger was the first transition colour that we used. Just connect that up and go all the way along and blend that first colour in, the Buzzkill. Okay, in a corner I'm going in with the pencil brush from Sigma, and I'm going to go into Sunburst, which is a yellow shimmer colour. Might be a little bit too yellow. There's nothing that's not yellow in this palette. So I just get a touch on my brush and I just want to basically just tap it. I don't want to go into that area where the brown is. And just tap that in. I'm going to use a Linda Hallberg crayon. This one is in Happy Mood yellow. I'm hoping this will show up, which it does. It's really quite vibrant, her eyeliners. So I'll go ahead and pop some lashes on off screen, and then I'll come back and I'll show you a new lippy that I have. Okay, so I did go in and pop some lashes on. Okay, so I'm going to pop it on. I wanted to try, I've got a few of these, the ColourPop BFF Volumizing Mascara. This one is in Lover's Coral. So I just wanted to try a little bit of a different colour, see how it goes. It might look terrible. I'll put that on the bottom lash line. It's not really coming out that much. Oh yeah, there it goes. Looks more like a pink. The wand is quite big to actually do the bottom lashes with. Alright, so lips. I'm going to go in with an Australis lip liner in, I don't know, I'll pop it in the description bar for you because my eyes are so bad I can't see. I don't know whether the lip liner is actually going to be of any help to me today with this colour, but we'll see. So I'm overlining this side. So my lip is a little bit lower on this side than the other. Okay, so this is Makeup by Polly Liquid Lip. She's absolutely stunning. So I thought I'd try this one. I don't have any of her products. So I ordered Sweetie Pie. And on the Instagram picture I looked at, it looked a little bit lighter than that. It comes out on your lips a little bit darker than the real light pink that I saw. A little bit. I mean, I might be being a bit too pedantic. Still quite light. So that's what it looks like as a matte. I'm really not into the mattes at the moment. I'm going to pop some Tom Ford lip lacquer on. Okay, so for the last little touch, I'm just going to pop some Iconic Prep Set Glow. Last time I used this, it went all over my clothes, so I'm not really impressed about the applicator. I'm going to lean forward and try and get this on without it going everywhere. Applicator I do not like at all. Just comes out full on, way too much. Goes everywhere, basically. So I may try and transfer that into a different bottle, but I do like the product. Okay, so if you like the eye look today and the makeup, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Click on that notification bell so you're notified when I do upload some more content. I'll be doing a few more ColourPop eye looks in the near future. So I do have a few palettes there to show you, but monochrome looks coming up. See you in my next video. Bye.